Welcome, everyone. My name is JR, and I'm the founder and owner of Business Leaders Network, where our mission is to build a community of emotionally intelligent servant leaders through education, visibility, community, as well as referrals and connections. And every week we like to come together and do a business roundtable where we bring on experts in their fields to talk about who they are, what they do, the impact that they're making in the world. And we want you to be able to learn and know more people. And so, welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today. And for all you listeners, thank you for tuning in and listening in to our next business roundtable. So, today we're going to start with Dr. Patricia and Patrice, Dr. Patrice. And if you can start out with the first question, just share more about who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making in the world.
So, JR and BLN community, it's great to meet you all. My name is Dr. Patrice Carter. As you shared, I'm excited to be here. And I am located in North Carolina, Southeast North Carolina. I'm married to the love of my life. His name is Dalton. And we together are partners in our business Breakpoint Coaching Collective, LLC.
Cool. Why don't you share more about what you guys do in your coaching program?
Hey, thank you for asking. So, what we do in Breakpoint Coaching is two things. One is that we certify, equip, and train Christian life coaches. And two is that we mentor service-based professionals, so speakers, authors, coaches, et cetera, who want to scale their expertise into digital courses and online schools.
How long have you been doing this?
I have been doing this for 17 years.
Very good. What do you love most about it?
I love most about seeing I love two things that change. One is what's possible when someone comes into the program or comes into our programs and they're unsure, and then to see that confidence grow. And then the second is to see them make life-changing wealth and money and the things that they're able to grow that impacts their lives as well as the lives of those that they serve.
Cool. I love that. Well, thank you so much for sharing. Kim, can you answer that same question and share more about who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making?
Sure. Happy to be here. I'm Kim Brooks, and I am in Maryland. I'm a somatic practitioner and a well-being coach based in Maryland, DMV, but also globally. I work with women in service-oriented roles, educators, therapists, nonprofit leaders. I was a former international teacher, elementary. So that's kind of my background. I've been coaching for a long time, but now I do nervous system regulation with like a somatic lens, and I've been doing that the last couple of years. I'm trained in meditation, Reiki, breathwork, yoga, and I bring all of those into my coaching practice. And I lead retreats. I don't know if I said that.
No, that was going to be my next question. Are you doing any type of events and stuff? Because I know that's where you get the really good experience for what you do is through those in-person events.
Yeah, so I have some beach sessions that I offer at Assateague in Maryland. And then I have an upcoming retreat with one room left in Arizona. It's a paddleboarding retreat. I am also a paddleboard instructor.
Cool. I have a lot of contacts in Arizona, so after we get off this call, remind me and I'll help make those connections. Cool. Well,
Okay.
thank you so much. Michael Fritz, why don't you share more about who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making?
Hey, my name is Fritz. I'm the founder of Podcastify Me, located in St. Louis, and I might be the only foreigner here today. Is everybody else on the East Coast out there in the DMV area? Yeah, so I'm the odd man out. I generate an extra 100K for seasoned entrepreneurs through strategic podcast guesting. The thing that I love doing for people is connecting the dots between the activity of guesting on shows and actually winning business from it. I'm on a one man vendetta mission to solve that problem. I've talked with so many people that are like, I've been on 703 podcasts, I've not earned a dime. And it's like, well, I mean, does it tie back to your business? No, I'm just hoping that somebody's going to come throw money at my face. Dude, let's put some predictability and some systems and process in place here. And then when I start to explain it to them about how it all works, that light bulb moment, you've probably all seen it where they're just like, oh, dang, how did I not realize that? I'm like, babe, I got here as fast as I could. Okay. So I love what I'm doing. I love just building into the lives of people and just bringing my whole everything to business, mind, body, soul, spirit, skills, everything, and just bringing it to bear to solve this really, really big problem in the podcasting world. So that's a little bit about me.
Love that. Clara, same thing for you. Tell us more about who you are, what you do, and the impact that you're making in the world.
Okay, thank you for having me, JR. My name is Clara Rose, and I'm the owner of Rosedale Publishing. I help purpose-driven, faith-based entrepreneurs, ministry leaders, business owners create a book to use as a tool for their business, ministry, cause, or brand. So that tool might be lead generation, it might be client transformation, might be a book for legacy work, which is very common in the nonprofit. And I just help them go from ideation through published book. I love what I do. I've been an entrepreneur for 43 years. So I'm old, but the last 12 or 13 have been in the publishing world specifically. So that's what I do. And I'm changing the world one book at a time, my friend.
I love that. And since I got you on the mic right now, why don't you share more or one of your best client success stories and where were they at when they started working with you and what did you help them achieve?
So people always ask me, what's the favorite book you've ever worked on? It's always the one I'm working on right now, but I do have to highlight the one that just came out in March, which was Patty Morano's book, The Place, Discovering God Where Life Hurts Most. And this was a story that their first child passed away from SIDS back when we didn't know what it was even. So this is like the redemptive story of their healing and how God restored them. And now they had a bunch of kids and just the life-changing advice for those going through pain and suffering. And it was impacted me greatly. I love what I do, but as I edited this book, I wept so much, right? I'm crying and editing and crying and editing, but she had a story to tell. She felt like God had called her to write this book, and she had done a bunch of writing, and she's like, okay, now what? Right? I don't know where to go from here. And someone pointed her in my direction. I'm like, okay, here's what we can do. Right? So it took all of these pages and we made a best-selling book out of it. And so that's what I do, and that's my heart.
I love that. Congratulations. Fritz, why don't you share one of your best client success stories? Where was someone at when they started with you and what did you help them achieve?
Yeah, I started with a guy who was one of my first clients actually about a year ago, and he launched a tech company. This is back when I was in the tech sector back in 2015. That's where we crossed paths. And so he had made a lot of pivots. I had made a lot of pivots. We reconnected, and he ended up coming back to me later and said, I think you've basically broken my business because we got on the topic of offer creation and finding your target client profile. And he realized, oh, shoot, I've actually been going about this wrong. As part of getting him booked on shows, getting him in front of the right people, he just coming to me for advice. And he's like, I've got to tear this down. And he was really giddy about it. He was excited. He's like, I got to tear this down to the foundation and rebuild my business from scratch. He's like, you broke my business. And I'm like, thanks. He's like, no, it is a good thing. He's like, I needed to do it because I was spreading myself too thin going this direction. So he's got renewed focus. He's been closing clients. He's been making all kinds of great connections inside my different groups and endeavors that I've got going on. So he's like, man, this is valuable. He's like, I'm really glad that we crossed paths when we did again. Fun stuff.
No, that's really cool. Kim, same thing with you. Why don't you share one of your best client success stories?
Okay. She came to me after she was in a transition between just ending a job that she had had for a very long time. She was a senior leader in a biotech company, and she was about to start another position. And she was thinking she needed meditation. We realized that was not her path. But through building sustainable practices for her and just this sense of keep coming back to herself through these challenging moments, we rewired some of the beliefs and patterns that were kind of keeping her in this place that led her to burnout in the first place. And so it's kind of the perfect time starting a new job so that she could go into it with this new shift in her energy. And so over 4 months, we worked together on like hypervigilance and overgiving and setting boundaries, but from a somatic lens through the body rather than just mindset work. And throughout our time, very quickly on, she had great shifts, like a medical situation came up and she said within a day, she was already back to herself, whereas that would have taken her out for weeks getting noticed like that. And then I spoke to her 3 months after our final session. And she said, weeks after we finished working together, 25% of people in this new company got laid off. she's in a senior leader role. So of course she comes in, she has to tell people and all of that. So it was a very challenging time. And she said she lost her footing for a bit, but she had a new place to come back to and practices to support her. And she said, if this would have happened to me a year ago or even 6 months ago, she said, I don't know if I would have bounced back the way that I did. And this was in the midst of Christmas. She had work travel and all these other life things going on at the same time. And she just watched herself move through it differently. And so that's basically what I do and love every second.
No, that's awesome. I love that. Congratulations. Dr. Patrice, why don't you share more about one of your best client success stories?
Okay, so one of my best client success stories is it aligns with multiplication and collaboration. So I believe in multiplying what I do, and I think you would agree with that. And I believe in collaboration over competition. And so I have one of the coaches that graduated from our program as a certified Christian life coach, but she was also coming into the program. She was already a master's level counselor and social worker. And so she came to me and shared that she wanted to do what I did or do what I do, and meaning that she wanted her own online school and she wanted to also certify and train and equip Christian life coaches. And so she invested in me to help her through that process. And when we started, she was really nervous and afraid and wondering who's going to purchase this, who's going to follow me, sort of that identity crisis that comes up when we go to do big things. So we completed her course. She invested, it was the most money she had ever invested, and which was in the 4 figures. It wasn't even in the 5 figures. And when she launched that course, she had 6 sessions and they all sold out. She ended up bringing in $20,000 in return on her investment. And so that was exciting, not only from a financial standpoint, but now she's still in business. And the big deal about that, and I think Clara could really resonate with this, is I believe in what we're doing is disciple making. And so whenever we graduate a Christian life coach or we multiply it, it's someone else who's there to serve in their vineyard. And so I'm excited about that.
I love that. Yeah, it's so funny that I was just telling Clara about a new nonprofit that I'm creating called M91 Command, and it's all about discipleship for military veterans and active duty. And we focus on discipling, developing, and deploying them, but keeping them more in faith based. Just because, when we all hear the saying in the military that there's no atheist in the foxhole, but it's like when they start getting comfortable in their home environment, they lose their faith, they lose purpose and everything else, especially when they get out. And that's why a lot of people, I'm a firm believer that when people lose purpose and they don't have a faith or something to rely on, then they will they become a statistic for suicide and everything else. And so I want to stay with them when they enter the gate and when they leave the gate. So I love the way you talk about you're using what you're doing for ministry and being able to do with that. And so cool. We have a lot to talk about. Kim, I'm gonna start with you on this last question, and it's kind of multiple different things, but share more about like who it is that you're looking for, why someone should want to contact you and hire you, and where's the best place that they can reach you.
Okay. I'll try to remember all these. If I forget something, let me know.
Yeah.
I work with women in service-oriented roles, so I kind of already shared that, but educators are people who I know inside out, 18 years in education. But I have found wellness practitioners, coaches, people in this giving space often give and give and give and then realize they've depleted themselves. And so there's similar patterns that show up in these types of helping roles. And I am looking to work with people who have already been on some sort of path. They're self-aware. They've maybe tried like yoga or mindfulness or therapy, but they haven't quite gotten to the root in their body. They've just been doing the mindset stuff, which shifts happen there. But they're kind of looking for more of an embodiment practice to really like be feeling this and living a different way from it. And
The best place for someone to reach you.
Okay. My website, probably everything's there. It's kimbrooksyoga-wellness.com.
Cool. And I got 4 people I'm going to connect you with. One's a guy in our area. He actually works with educators on different things, but you guys are very different. So I have him, and I have 3 people over close to Arizona that may be interested or know people for your retreat. So I'll make sure I connect with you after that. Dr. Patrice, I'll have you go next. Why don't you share more about, start out who it is, the type of people that you want to work with, why should someone want to hire you, and three, where can they reach you?
So the type of people I want to work with are men and women that are entrepreneurs who have been in the entrepreneurial space and being successful, I would say at least 5 years. They've experienced multiple 5 figures or 6 figures in their business, and they're the one doing it all. So they are wearing all the hats in their business. And now they're at the point almost to a burnout. And they realize that now they want time freedom back, and they want to be able to make money while they sleep, and they realize that they're working for their business as opposed to their business working for them. So again, they have 5 years in, they're multiple 5 or 6 figures, and these are people that are speakers, authors, coaches, some form of entrepreneurship, and what they possess they can convert to a digital product or an online school, and they want to do that. And the reason they should hire me is because I've been there and I've done it. So we have a saying in the military, lead the way. So I know the way, and I have quantifiable results to show.
I love that. And where can someone reach you?
They can reach me at drpatricecarter.com.
Very cool. Thank you so much. And Clara, why don't you, same questions, share more about the type of people you want to work with, why should they hire you, and the best place to reach you. And
Okay.
Dr. Patrice, just so you know, I got two people on the list that I want to connect you with that I think would be good referral partners for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you. I look forward to it.
Yeah.
Very cool. So anybody who is a purpose-driven or faith-based individual who understands the value of having a book to establish their authority or to use as a tool, like lead generation tool or client transformation tool or legacy work, whatever they want that tool to do, those are a great fit for me. It's really important that they understand the value that a book brings. And they could be at any level. It could be that they've been thinking about it, right? It could be that they've been trying to do it for a long time. 10 years I've been working on my book. So those are great people for me, ideation through publishing, or somebody who has a bunch of stuff already written and they just need someone to make it cohesive and pull it all together for them. I think the reason to hire me over maybe somebody else in my space is that I have a lot of years of experience with this specific niche. I don't do any fiction. I don't do anything else. This is it right here. And I'm very focused on helping my client to create the right tool. We're not writing a book just for the sake of it. We're creating a tool that's supposed to do something. So I think that's what I bring to the table. And then, of course, you can find out all about me at craftingyourmessage.com, which is my primary website. You can learn about co-writing together, ghostwriting, my ghostwriting alternative, or a book and a podcast, which is the Influence platform.
Cool. Love that. I got three people on top of my head for you. I'm going to refer you as well. And
Nice.
Michael Fritz.
So I'm looking to work with seasoned entrepreneurs. And what that means is they have an offer that they've been able to sell multiple times. If they're afraid to sell, if they're like, ooh, sales is ooky, manipulative, scary, it's actually, I've learned the brain is kind of not believing what you're putting down. It's like, I don't know how you're going to pull that off, bro. I'm just going to give you some cortisol and make you anxious about selling because I don't think you can actually do the thing that you're saying you can do. A seasoned entrepreneur understands their ideal client profile. They understand the messaging. They really know fundamentally who they are and the impact that they bring. And business for them is not accidental. And particularly ones that have been a guest on podcasts before, but then you ask them, how much business have you won? And they say $0. They haven't lost hope about it. They know the medium can work, but they're not quite sure. They're not quite sure how to get it to work. So if someone were to work with me, the reason why they would is because I take a very holistic view toward podcast guesting and how it ties back to business, but it's all about time freedom. I want people to have big floppy chunks of time on their calendar where they don't have to spend more than 10 hours a week max on their business because I want them to have freedom. I want them to be able to, go on vacations and take time off and not feel chained to their desk. I happen to use podcasts to bring that about. I want people to have freedom, and I want them to know that every single podcast that we get them booked on will result in a measurable amount of leads. The best place to reach me is a free community I host every Monday at 11 Central a.m. It's called The Huddle. So you can find out more at podcastify.me/huddle. And you're welcome to come in. I actually talk a lot about the strategy behind guesting on shows and how to actually monetize and turn that into leads and measure that and convert people into clients. So we'd love to have you all in there, and yeah, stop on by. You're going to meet a lot of people. There's usually about 25 to 30 people in there every week.
Cool. Love that. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on here today. And guys, my name is JR. I'm the founder and owner of Business Leaders Network. And if you are listening to this episode right now and looking for other business connections or want an opportunity to be on our roundtable, I would love to shoot you a link to apply to be a guest on one of our shows. I'd love to have you on there. I try to do these at least once or twice a week. And it's a great time to connect. It's a great time for more visibility and a way for me to help get you connected to other people within my network. And so drop a comment below this video just saying, BLN Impact, and I'll make sure I give you the link to apply and see if you're a good fit to be a guest on one of our shows. And if you guys would like to know more information about our community, the first step is to be a guest on our roundtable. And so come be a guest on our roundtable, then you can learn more about who we are and what we do and how we can support you to help you build your visibility and connections and referrals within our network. So until next time, Semper Fi.